Okay, looks like we are live now. Welcome, everyone. This is the Wednesday night. Yes, we're live now. It's the Wednesday night Google Hangout, Wednesday night Team Certainty and Power Network prospective new member Google Hangout. Thank you, everybody. Welcome to you viewers that are tuning in tonight, and especially our international viewers. We have a tremendous contingency of international viewers. Welcome tonight. Thank you for spending the time with us tonight. And if you're watching this on one of our YouTube channels or broadcast page, or listening live on one of our radio broadcast stations on the internet, thank you for taking the time this evening. And if you're watching this on replay again too, thank you for taking your time to check in and get this hour's worth of content we'll give you tonight. We may go a little short today. This evening I have a couple things I need to do, and we're pressed for time tonight, but we'll see how things work through. And as long as my phone's not ringing, then no one needs me where I'm actually supposed to be. So good. I have Mr. Iron Dane Richards with me. Hello, Mr. Richards. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. How you doing, sir?
Local nonprofits and let's
pretty good. And just been a busy day. It's a busy week already. It's the end of April. I can't believe it. This month is just blinked. I got a big weekend coming up for me this weekend, and I got a few more days of freedom before school's out, and my kids are back from college, and I get 3 months of chaos, and then some peace and quiet when they're all back in school. But looking forward to it. How's everything in your neck of the woods there, sir?
Oh, everything's every day's a holiday almost, but I've been super busy with some of the financial projects that we've been working on together. So this week's really been a push so far. I can't believe it's Wednesday already.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the thing that's getting me. It's just like, woo.
Yeah, you blink your eye, man, and it's the middle of the week, and when you're making money like we are, with Empower Network, and and things haven't been as active as they can be typically in Empower Network. A lot of it has to do with David Sharp and a few of the other things going on, and we'll talk about that later at the, as we get into the the event tonight. But it's good still to make money with Empower Network and how we're doing it. And as we get closer and closer to this New Orleans event, it's going to get heated up even more. And while we're on, well, no, let's hold off a minute on that. But I want to talk about some current events now and let people still come in and get ready and settled for the event tonight. How about current events? What's going on? Ukraine still kind of heating up. Are they still just rattling each other's swords, or what? Or their own swords? Or what's going on? What's your take on it?
Well, you got the Putin. He's looking at doing sanctions against the U.S. on oil. So
do they provide us with oil?
Well, they provide a lot of Eastern Europe and Ukraine and regular Europe with a lot of oil now.
Yeah, natural gas. I know that. I know
natural gas and oil. And coming to find out, actually, some of our treaties and all our mismatched oil company deals of ours are wound up in them too. So, like you said, well, you're trying to do sanctions. I'm going to show you what a sanction is.
Yeah.
So it really is backfiring. The best thing is, there's that old adage, you don't step on a sleeping dog's tail and it won't bite.
Right.
If you just leave him alone, just got to look the other way a little bit. It's not like he's going in there and doing executions of people. I mean, and that's where I'm at. As long as they took over some real estate again, but you know what? They really didn't go in there and wipe out the masses. So I'm not really going to say let's use our heads. Keep a closer head on it.
My take on this whole Ukrainian deal is that the United States has a responsibility to for democracy around the world and fairness, if you even want to call it that. But with the leaders we have, I call bullshit to it.
Yeah.
I really do, and as maybe unpatriotic as that sounds, Yeah, I would like to see democracy and freedom and fairness spread around the world for everybody.
Right.
But I don't think our government's very good at doing it.
No, we've got some seriously mentally handicapped folks up in Washington
Yeah.
that, they've got too much power, too big of egos, and not enough common sense to really to function the way that, for the overall good. I mean, their overall good picture, in my opinion, is what's good for their ego to get them reelected. Other than that, they really don't have too much of concern about anything else. I mean,
I saw a headline on Drudge Report today that the United States spies more on its citizens than all the other countries combined.
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, exactly. I mean, we're just fed this, this propaganda that the government isn't like, the KGB used to be and all this other. No, they're not like them. They're worse than them now.
Oh, yeah, yeah, it's horrible, horrible. I'll close on this and leave it up to you. Then we need to get on with this. But I've got actually a friend of mine that's in Odessa, Ukraine.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in Odessa.
Great city. Yeah.
And I asked him. I caught him on Skype the other day. And, and I asked him. I said, how's it going over there? And he goes, it's perfectly fine over here. We don't hear anything. Now, I got to take what this guy says with a grain of salt, but it's just what kind of friend he is. But I mean, he's a nice guy. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
I don't know him well enough to know, but I do know one thing: that if it was bad, he'd say it. He would definitely say it if it was bad, and or I'd hear gunshots going on in the background or whatever. But according to him, it's kind of as is, nothing. He's not seen any changes. And Odessa's not too far away from where all the heavy stuff's at.
Oh, not away from the peninsula down there. And
yeah,
a friend of mine, she's up in Kiev, and another one's in Lvov. And like they said was, basically is life goes on. Just another day. But the one thing I was going to say, did you see where Elon Musk is suing the U.S. government?
Something about the space deal, right?
Yeah, he's trying to put up spy satellites, and they don't want competition for whoever they've been working with,
Surprise, surprise. Yeah.
But wait till they have a problem. They'll come running to him to have him, put up a discount launch on their behalf.
Right. Well, hope everything gets settled over there and cooler heads prevail, and everything works out for everybody. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and get started here. I don't know where Mr. Smith, he might show up, and actually Mr. Meter might join us.
Oh, good.
Possibly. I spoke to him this week, and I sent him an invite tonight, but we'll wait and see. I know he's really, really busy with a lot of stuff going on. So, the biggest thing I want to talk about tonight really is iPas2, and the reason why is because tonight is the last time someone can get, a free iPas2 account. I think it's iPas2/free, and because tomorrow iPas2 launches supposedly. Now I haven't heard anything. I haven't got any updates, and that kind of bothers me a little bit. I figured that there'd be some sort of announcement like be prepared for the launch tomorrow. There isn't. And I don't know if they want to make it a big type of launch or something that's just we're gonna a soft launch, and then we'll get all the kinks out and do a heavy launch, mid-May or end of May. But iPas2 is coming out, and I'm anxious to see it live in my back office, and I'm going to crank it up. I'm going to buy a ton of traffic, and just see what it can do, and that's my game plan. As well as my downline or the people who are on my team. For iPas2. Just out of curiosity, Mr. Richards, have you heard anything? Have you gotten any emails or any updates or anything from anybody, any of your downline or upline or power line or anything regarding iPas2?
No, I haven't. And that's one thing I'm glad you said something. No, I've been waiting to see something on it, and I just haven't seen anything.
Yeah, and sometimes when it leads to another delay or they're not quite ready yet, Chris, Jones, said tentatively it's May 1st. I do think they're going to roll it out tomorrow, but it's going to be a soft launch. They don't want a big hubbubaloo about it. They want to do a soft launch and then, work out a few little of the kinks and then do a, big hard launch, mid-May or so. But
Yeah.
we'll see how things materialize. But as soon as we know, we'll let everybody else know. The big news, of late has been, obviously Dave Sharp departing.
Yeah.
And have you heard the latest on Mr. Vic Streethouse?
No, please.
Well, I don't really know the whole story either. But earlier today, Jonathan Kirsten, the CEO, did a blog about, apparently there was some, I know the story behind Vic Streethouse. He got into some insurance issues, back in 2008. It was a silly nonsense, crap is what it was, and he figured out a way, to, and I've actually talked to him a little bit about this, and he figured out a way to get paid a commission on a sale, but he knew there was a high chance that sale was going to cancel.
Oh.
So it was in effect, it was a way to borrow money for 45 days, to 90 days, and they deduct it out of your paycheck. So he was making good money with his insurance company, but he figured out a way where he could go in and sell a bunch of insurance, but he knew a bunch of it would cancel. It wasn't fake people or anything like that. It was just, I can't remember what happened. It was like selling to an organization, and then when it all went to get approved, the company wouldn't approve the organization. They'd approve the individuals, but they wouldn't approve the organization. Something like that. So they had to clear out everybody, and he would then have to return all the commission that he got paid. And that's what he did. He
was living on chargebacks. No wonder.
No. What happened was he wanted to do the special project, and he needed like $35,000 to do it. So he went to a couple organizations he knew would probably get kicked back. Well, he knew for a fact they'd get kicked back. You know, probably.
Yeah. Signed
them all up, got paid, got fronted the commission on it, and then they turned around and they said, "We can't do these deals. We're refunding the commission." They took it out of his paycheck, and everything was fine. There was no issue. There was no issue with that, except about 2 years later, it was 2008. They did a independent insurance inspection audit, and they picked one of those files.
Oh.
And then when they realized there were like 50 of those files for the same guy, he got popped.
Oh,
and the insurance companies filed criminal charges on him, and he got arrested at his house. They came and got him. I really don't like talking about this because he's not here to defend himself.
Right.
But the end of the story is good. So apparently he was in the pokey for the weekend and got out, and anyway got a what do they call a probated sentence or deferred sentence, whatever it was, and everything worked out. He spent, I think he had to do like a weekend in jail, and that was it. But it's bullshit, and anyway, and look, I mean, I'm not going to say it's South Dakota or North Dakota or whatever, but it's not downtown Manhattan. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
and or LA, and anyway, so that's the extent of it. It's no big deal, However, he still lives in South Dakota, and what this Jonathan Kirsten wrote about, apparently he's been promoting the traffic stuff and some of the latest products. And I actually like Vic. I think he's a nice guy. I'm not too thrilled on his accent, not in a negative sense, but from a marketing sense.
Right.
I think it's just, for me, it's hard to listen to and stuff. So, but I like him. He's a nice guy. I have no problem with him whatsoever. He's a self-made guy. And he works very, very hard. So, you have to admire that. But apparently, the state of South Dakota told him no more promotions in South Dakota, and he didn't listen to them.
Oh.
Yeah. and apparently there's been some issues. Now I don't know what those issues are, you know, but you know my guess is they're fairly, uh, you know, I don't think they're light. I think they're pretty heavy, to the extent of you know, you know he had a cross-border hotel visit for a little while, you know, a few days or a week or something like that, or got a huge fine or you know or what. But you know when the regulators say don't do something and you do it, you know, and then they say, look, we're telling you right now to stop doing it. You know, I don't care if you like it. I don't care if you think it's legal. I don't care if you think you deserve the right to do it. In this environment we live in, and I'm the government, and I tell you not to do it, you better damn listen to me. And if you don't, then you're going to pay a serious, serious consequence. And apparently that's what's happened. So
yeah,
I can't elaborate on it more because I don't know anymore. You know. Yeah, but anyway, you know, apparently there's been some trainings, and he's had products, you know, and I've listened to a couple of the products. I've never heard any issues, but I didn't make the webinar last night, and apparently that's what happened. There were some issues that came to the surface at that webinar, and that's what Kirsten has just you know dealt with today. So.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, you know, it's you know good old Uncle Sam back at work, you know, making our lives easier and protecting us.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Creating more, creating more work.
nonsense. But you know, anyway, getting back to iPas, you know, I haven't heard anything. I expect probably to get an email tonight. I don't think I've got. Let me check here real quick on one of my 12 screens here. Do you ever go through your spam folder?
No, you know, it's funny. I've got one Yahoo account, and that thing, I swear, gets 600 spams a day. You know, you just can't keep up with it. I just delete that thing.
Yeah. Yeah, no, nothing new, nothing to report on. You know, so with iPas. So I'll probably get an email tonight from Chris Jones regarding the launch tomorrow of iPas, and probably you know whether it's delayed a week or a few days or it's live. You know, but you know, those viewers that are watching right now, if you go to iPas.com, iPas2, IPAS, the numeral 2.com/free account, you can get your free account there, and we highly recommend you do that. You know, now before it, you know, if you got an email from me today with a link in it, go ahead and utilize that link.
I was going to say, put up your thingy, you know.
Yeah, you know, I do that, but I think I might screw up this Hangout.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, I just, you know, my CPU performance, you know, usage is in the 90s, and so
it's astronomical.
Yeah. I think if Gary jumped on, then you know it would even make the whole broadcast a little different. Yeah. But we'll see, and we'll see what you know what's going on, you know, with the iPas, and hopefully you know it'd be great if they launch it tomorrow and it's you know launch like it's supposed to. That'll be a lot of fun, and like I said, you know, my plan is a significant media buy, and let it do its thing, and see how things go from there.
Oh, yeah, I'm excited about it.
Yeah. Well, you know, this last weekend when we did our questions and answers session, you know, one of the viewers asked about the project that you're working on.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Do you have an update on that?
Yeah, I am. Today, the last 2 days, I've been really sidetracked. I got to apologize to everybody, but it's just been the phone's been coming off the hook on a lot of these other deals. But I'm going to try to finish it up tonight. I don't have much more to do. It's just because I really want to get that out there. But yeah, like you said, you did a hashtag on some things today and popped up in #1 slots. So no, it's really been working great. In fact, that blog got about 9,700 visits since it's been open.
Wow, that's great.
So I mean that's pretty impressive. I got a lot of traffic on it, and so I mean that site. I don't have any AdSense on it yet. So
but the whole plan is to implement a procedure, if you will, to get.
right. I was going to say no. This whole site was just to help people get their initial start, get your start going, so that no matter what business you're doing or what you're promoting, that you can get top 10 Google placement with your keywords. And I really didn't do long keywords, you know, what they call the phrases or like that. The whole idea is, yeah, you're right, Mike, is to get everybody in those, you know, to teach people how to get that top 10 placement right away, you know, and be in there for like $35 and reliable hosting, the whole 9 yards. And I mean, that's the thing that most people fall right off the chair when they hear that one, you know.
Yeah. No.
So, folks, the buttons right down here, ding, 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 ding. Those are what you want to join to get that, because it's going on. I'm going to put it on one of these, the WSOs and a few of the joint venture sites that it'll be offered at, I think, probably $47 is what it's going to start at.
Okay, that's good. Yeah.
So, and then the affiliates make 50%. So just telling everybody out there in the world, you know, if you're interested in it. But I haven't gotten top 10 placement. And I documented screenshots on the entire process of it, and it's not that complicated. I mean, for anybody that's used a word processor or anything like that, or done just small stuff, because the one good thing about it is this is all, it's not HTML based programming. This is just, you know, you can do a lot of cut and paste of PLR articles if you want. You know, you don't have to do a lot of programming as per se, and it's not as complicated as WordPress or Joomla, thank goodness. So that's good. But yeah, no, I've got that. It's on the list here on the desk about things to finish up. I've got ding.
Oh yeah.
I got that. My Post-it notes on my. I've got an outer lining on my monitor of Post-its. So one of those little habits I got into years ago is write a Post-it the night before the primary one, so the next morning you get up, you're looking at it in the face and say, well, you know, I picked the easiest one to get done, believe it or not. I try to pick on the easiest ones to knock them out fast, and then I had a little success, and I pat myself on the back and say, gee, you got that done, so that's just one down, another to go. So
that brings up a topic that we talked just a little bit about, you know, when I closed out the hangout on Saturday. And viewers, by the way, we do these Google Hangouts twice a week. We do this Wednesday night session from 8 to 9 p.m. Central Time, which is the time frame we do now. And these two time sessions are designed specifically to have prospective new members as well as current members, newly current members, get to know us more and ask questions, or get some of the content that we have about how we operate, and we as team leaders, and build our Empower Network, and how we make money as well. A lot of it's outside of the Empower Network, but we utilize the Empower Network products, to supplement some of the other things that we're doing. In the back office, there's at each level, there's 5 levels in the back office, all corresponding to the buttons below here. There's certain specific ways that you can make money immediately when you join Team Certainty. So if you join at the $25 level, you get access to the level 1, and in the back office of level 1, there are several places where you do some work, and you have money directly deposited into your PayPal account or PayZ account or MoneyBooker's account, within, minutes of completing the tasks. And I've had numerous members, pay for electricity or grocery bills or what right away just by signing up and getting straight to work. And why we talk about these lifestyles during these income statements and lifestyles during these hangouts, I want to make a call to the earnings disclaimer, which is below here as well. It's down at
Right.
the bottom. It's a paragraph, and everyone should read that as well as go to the Empower Network homepage, where a complete breakdown of the earnings disclaimer is at for your review. But like you said, we work hard here at Empower Network, and the other time that we do these Google Hangouts, we do them twice a week. This time period, the other time period is Saturday mornings. Saturday mornings from 11 a.m. to 11:30 Central Time, and that's a question and answer period, where we get questions throughout the week, and that's what the support tab is on the side of the page over here. And you just click that support tab, a box open up, type in your question, click send. It gets to customer service or support. They'll answer the question for you, and if they deem the question appropriate for everyone's knowledge, then it'll make it into the queue, and we'll ask that question during our Saturday morning hangouts. They're much more casual, only half an hour long, and quite a bit of fun to do and watch as well. Certainly a different atmosphere than this, but a lot. To be honest, it's similar, and it's just Saturday morning. We're just a little bit more laid back, than this. So one of the things I wanted to mention was, and Richard and I talk about this a lot. Mr. Iron Dame Richards and I talk about this a lot about, how we spend our time and so forth. And in this last Saturday, I closed with a comment I'd like to share, with the viewers tonight, and that is, wouldn't it be nice every day, or what would you do, if you had a bank account, and every single morning when you woke up, there was $86,400 in your bank account, and and you could use it any way you want to, but at the end of the day, there was zero. And you didn't accumulate from day to day to day. Every morning you had $86,400 in your account to use, and at the end of the day, you had zero. Now, if you didn't take it out, it automatically went to zero. They took it all out, they took it away, and they put $86,000 in there. So you use it or lose it, basically, is the statement. And I can tell you this, that it sounds like a lot of fun and easy to do, but you can't. You got to spend it. I mean, you can't take it and put it in a savings account. That didn't work. You had to spend it, and it's hard spending. The first 4 or 5 days, it's not hard at all, but a month into it, you're struggling figuring out a way to spend $86,400, a month, if you don't have a plan. Now, if you have a plan, then that's great. And how many people actually would this ever happen to? How many people would actually get $86,400 into their account every single day? No questions asked. But let me tell you, every day, both you and I are getting 86,400 seconds of time in our bank account when we wake up every morning, and it's up to us to spend it. And when we're done with the day, they take what's left over and they put it away. I mean, they throw it away, and then the next morning you get 86,400 more seconds. And how are you going to use those? And when you break down your day that way, when you wake up your eyes in the morning and sit at the edge of your bed as you're getting out of bed and say, today I've got 86,400 seconds. How am I going to use them? How am I going to use them? What am I going to do for others? What am I going to do for my business? What am I going to do for my health? And knowing that you'll never get those 86,400 seconds back again, nor can you use them up and accumulate them over a period of time. So you better use them, and you better use them wisely, and effectively, and swiftly as well. Stay busy, be effective, and stay busy, and that's what we do at Empower Network. And that's why, the lifestyles that we live, we stay effective. We're constantly looking at new things. We're constantly testing new things. Just like Richard's, front page on Google, first page on Google. What a great concept that is. And there's 1,001 different ways to be on first page of Google. But Richard has been taught and has learned and has executed with his own twist a specific way that we know works. I did a hash just out of curiosity. I just did it. I wasn't looking for you. I had no clue you were going to be there. I wanted to see who else was. I mean, what kind of I really wanted to just test this hashtag concept. So I did hashtag this phrase in Google search, and guess what? Iron Dane Richards on the first page.
Yeah.
And and so, and you couldn't have done that more than maybe a week ago.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah, this is the whole thing. It's worked. Like I said, I stumbled upon the whole deal. Really, I mean, it wasn't this is the grace of God. It wasn't an act of genius. Is what I can tell everybody. It's just I stumbled upon it. It works, and I'm going to ride that pony as long as I can. But I'm so glad that I was going to ask you to say something about that tonight, about the 86,000 seconds, because that's important for people. I mean, everybody, you better take, you only get so many days, so many weeks, so many years, so many seconds in your life. Got to enjoy them. But you know what? When you're on a countdown, it gives you a kind of little bit more to focus on what to do rather than counting up.
Well, I mean, 86,400 seconds a day. That's how many seconds are in a day. And every day in your time bank, you are being deposited 86,400 seconds. And how are you going to use them? Now, everyone's heard my analogy about Home Depot, and one of the biggest criteria or one of the biggest catalysts or motivating factors for me, with Empower Network, and if I had to write an analyst report on Empower Network, months ago or today, it would be the same. It would be the same heading, and what are the advantages? And the two biggest advantages of Empower Network, when you join, again, that's what the buttons are for below, is you get once you buy the inventory once, you get unlimited inventory to resell of the same item. And the second biggest is you get 100% commissions. Now, not on every product, but on the bulk of the products, you get 100% commission. And those two elements alone, put you head and shoulders above your competition in any ongoing new startup business, that's available out there right now. Whether it's, a business you're buying or you're just starting one from scratch. If you get unlimited inventory and you get to keep 100% of the proceeds of the sale of that inventory, that's where your 86,400 seconds should be spent, in that arena, working on projects like that. And, again, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it. But, you couple those two, huge advantages of Empower Network with your 86,400 seconds every day, and you apply that, formula, every day to your daily activities. In 2 or 3 weeks, you can't help but be making money.
Right.
It's just that simple. And and I just why I encourage people, so much to, you click one of the buttons below right here, and join tonight. All you can spend is $25, and your sponsor will communicate with you on the rest. I personally recommend, level 3. At $625, that gives you the best position of the least amount of cost to make the most amount of money the quickest. And here at Team Certainty and Empower Network, I'll probably never be able to repeat that, but that's the way it is. So anyway, Richard, any comments on that?
Yeah.
I hate to keep talking.
Oh,
I could talk for 2 or 3 hours, and
Yeah.
I know the viewers don't want to hear my suck rambling on. So
no, but you know what? The one thing I was going to, following your vein of what you were talking about, the 86,400 seconds a day, is, folks, I'm going to tell each and every one of you that you are a self-made millionaire at this point in your life. You are a millionaire, and you can't deny that you're a millionaire. But if you apply that same philosophy and that psychology, you're saying, well, I don't have $1 million in the bank. No, but you know what you are a millionaire of? If you were born 20 years ago you're over, okay, last year in 2013, if you were born exactly today is your 20th birthday, you're 10 million minutes in. You're
Yeah,
10 million.
what's that website you were chatting about? You know.
Yeah, it's called timeanddate.com. So it's timeanddate.com. And folks, I go there because you can calculate from a birthday, and it'll tell you how many seconds you are, how many years, how many minutes, how many hours, and it can round them up. But the nice thing about it is that, yeah, you are a multimillionaire right now. I mean, if you're 20 years old, you know, you're worth over 10 million minutes. So you got to appreciate that. And here it gets even better. If you know, you're over 500 billion seconds is your net worth. You know, if you're 20 years old. Me, because I go back to when the saber-toothed tigers were running loose, you know, I'm a billionaire over. So it, because I hit 500,000 hours last year, 500,000 hours. But
Halfway home.
I know it. Yeah. But folks, I just want to tell you, you know, is if you look at a lot of the people that are really big onto, you know, development, self-development, and things like that, like Bob Proctor, Thinking into Results, you know, Jack Canfield, and a lot of these other authors, when you look at what they're talking about is, first you have to convince yourself you're a multimillionaire before you'll become it. And Napoleon Hill, he studied all these millionaires of the day back in the 20s. And Dale Carnegie's the one that inspired him, told him, and said, hey, I'm going to have you interview all these guys, and I'm not going to pay you anything, but what you learn, you can publish. And, you know, each one of those people believed in their mind that they could do what they were setting out to do. They actually believed in their head that they were going to do it. And it follows through. Gates, Jobs, all these people like them, so like those people, all believed in their mind that they could do it before they got started. They didn't see how they couldn't fail. Even though they really didn't know what they were doing, they just couldn't see how they could fail. And what I can say is, folks, if you take that same attitude and believe in yourself and believe that you can make something work, those buttons right down here can work for you too. And we want to give you all the tools and support we can, you know, in the back office, because by us giving you the little bit of help and a little bit of nudge and motivation, you know, we want you to do better for your family, for yourself, you know, whatever your dreams are, you know, make those seconds count to enjoy your dreams. I mean, because that's what it's all about.
You know, especially iPas2 coming out. You know, I mean, it couldn't be a better time now to, you know, to join, you know, and become part of Team Certainty and Power Network now. You know, so that you know, you could utilize and be one of the first to capture and put to work iPas2 for you. You know, that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Oh, I'm excited about it.
And the ones that get in earliest, you know, the ones that make the most money, and so that's where I'm going to be. And you know, I expect to be one of those.
Yeah, and folks, if you're new to what we're talking about, the iPas2, it's the, you know, it's the backlink to the Empower Network. But what this thing does is it does all the work for you. And if they don't capture a sign up with Empower, they've got secondary. It's like having a secondary closing firm that you hired in a marketing firm to come in after the fact to resell them or upsell them. So, I mean, all the work's done for you. I mean, and if you look at those 86,000 seconds, we can't afford to hire people as cheaply as what the iPas2 is doing it for you, because it's automated for you. And they've got a great closing ratio with their beta testing. What was that number again that they were saying?
It's in the 30s. It was in the 30s%.
That's incredible. That's incredible. So, folks, if you're driving traffic over here, and at least one thing is, the traffic, even if you're buying traffic, at least if you got a 30% closure rate, you're making money back on the investment that you've got in your traffic. And, you know, those dollars are going to add up, and just keep a portion, 20% of your income all the time back to advertising. You know, I can't stress that enough for you also, is, you know, you got to feed that, you got to keep feeding the golden goose to lay those eggs, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, just allocate a little bit out of your earnings to make sure that that golden goose keeps on shooting those eggs at you. So.
And there's never an unlimited, I mean, there's always an unlimited amount, you know, and there's never a shortage of people that, you know, that are interested in making money online, and thus, you know, would have interest in Empower Network.
Yeah,
so
and
it amazes me how what kind of infancy stage Empower Network still remains to be in, and how many people do you know right now that are trying to make money on the internet? Maybe have a full-time job. Most of them have a full-time job, but on the side they're trying to make money on YouTube or some money-making source, or, you know, whether it's an MLM or, you know, sell, you know, soap or whatever on the internet. You know, they're trying to make money on the internet, and like I said earlier, when you have unlimited inventory and you get 100% of the proceeds for that, you know, inventory you sell, you know, and that product is in huge demand, you know, then that's where you want to be. You know, the components of that make up your success, you know, are all put together and weighed quite heavily there.
Yeah, you don't have to stock inventory, folks. I mean, you don't have to worry about paying for shipping or make sure something gets shipped out on time, so, you know, so you don't have complaints. Everything's handled for you quickly and easily, and that's the beauty of the automation. And Mike's done so much work in the back office here to automate up Team Certainty's functions so that you just go in there, you get what you need, you know, and depending on what level you're at, but it's really, really well structured. And, you know, hats off to you, sir, because you did all that work. I mean, you structured it
it's
up.
Constantly, it's constantly being updated. It'll be updated with your stuff back there, you know, when you're ready to do that in a few days. And you know, there's a bunch of Mike DeVeter, Gary Smith stuff back there as well. And it's all really good stuff, and it's very current and very, very accurate.
Yeah, and that's true. That's the other thing to stress to everybody out there. All of our stuff's current. We don't have stuff that's 5 years old on here. This is all current functional assistance. What's back there? I mean, if it's not working for us, we'll take it down too. So that's.
Yeah. Well, you know, again, you know, it's iPas2, you know, tomorrow. You know, May 1st. May 1st, it's the last chance. And we'll talk about the same topic on Saturday morning, because, you know, we will hear something between now and Saturday morning. So, you know, I'm going to go ahead and wind it down now. My phone's ringing.
Okay.
I've got to get somewhere, Richard.
Oh, no problem.
Mr. Iron Dane Richard. So, you know, I'm going to you know, wind it down. Why don't you leave it with a last call or last comments for you here in just a second. But I want to remind the viewers, the ones that are watching live or on replay, we do these Google Hangouts twice a week. We do them at this time period from 8 to 9 typically, you know, on Wednesday evenings. And then Saturday mornings, we have a great questions and answer period from 11 to 11:30 or longer. And we just discuss, you know, some of the questions that come in through the weekend or through the week, you know, from prospective new customers or current customers that we deem appropriate for prospective new customers to know the answers of. And so we'll be back Saturday morning, and hope to see you there, the same place, the same broadcast page or YouTube channel you're watching or listening to on a internet broadcast radio station. Mr. Iron Dane Richards, why don't you take it for a few minutes and closing costs? Then throw it back to me. I'm going to have some comments, and then we'll say goodbye for the evening.
Okay. Well, the one thing I love about these Hangouts is it's kind of like what Henry Ford said at one time. He says, you know, coming together is a beginning, keeping together is progress, but working together is success. And, you know, that's exactly what we've tried to do on these Hangouts, is we're getting everybody together. And then, you know, we're progressing along because we're learning new strategies and we're sharing them, and it's working together for everybody's overall success. And that's what we really want to see you succeed. And we want to get you on this panel with us. You know, we want you to be a leader and get in here and help join with us and talk with us and we're all about that. I mean, and we welcome you. I mean, and we don't care, you know, if you got a little broken English, it's okay. You know, we're looking forward to having leaders in foreign countries too, so to do hangouts for us. So, but I guess that's probably, you know, kind of a wind up on that. But I was just thinking that's what Henry Ford said, you know, is about coming together and working together.
I like that. I like it. You know, and keep in mind too, we're the only team that has a homepage that's 100% translatable. You know, to 72 different languages, including our lead capture pages. You know, and our homepage and all the content on our homepage. That's why we have a big international contingency, because you know they can make change the language and view in their own common language. So I just want to thank the viewers tonight for spending time with us. You know, I'm sorry Gary Smith or Mike DeVito wasn't able to join us, but they'll be with us Saturday, or at least Gary and Will, and hopefully we'll see Mike Feeder. He's got some good family news going on, so he's really, really busy now, and couldn't be happier for him and his wife. So, but anyway, thank you, viewers. You know, we will be back Saturday morning, 11 a.m. Central Time to 11:30. This Saturday, and the big news for me this weekend is it's Kentucky Derby weekend.
I know it.
Yeah, so I have my picks. You know, in closing, you know, just a personal item for me. I send out an email to my buddies, and some people I don't talk to all year long. Some people I never talk to. You know, but they get an email from me once a year, and it's a Kentucky Derby picks. So it's it's kind of funny. You know, even a couple old girlfriends, you know, that I for many years, and they're long since married, but they're real nice. We still keep in contact, but I haven't had a chance to really kind of do it, you know, the handicapping yet this month, or for this year's event. But you know, I'm really yeah, it's this weekend, May 3rd.
Who's the long shot?
You know, I think there's going to be 22 horses in the field this year.
Wow.
And yeah, they changed it up last year, and it seems to be working okay. But there was four or five horses tied at the same number, so they let them all ride. And you can't have more than 24. I don't think you can have more than 24.
No,
horses.
I don't think they got gates that wide on that.
Well, they put 2 or 3 of them together. You know, I've seen them do that. You know, especially overseas, but. You know, I think 24 is the maximum amount of horses you can put in the Derby. But it should be fun this year. I don't even know what the weather is going to look like, but you know, we'll have an update, you know, Saturday morning, you know, with my picks, you know, prior to it'll be 5 hours after our hangout, so it'll be fun. It'll be fun to do. But,
and then we'll recap that on the following Wednesday.
Yeah, you know, when we're in New Orleans with the Empower Network event in New Orleans, I think that's the Belmont. You know,
it is the Belmont.
Well, no, it's not. It's I'm going to be in Louisiana the weekend before. No, it's Memorial Weekend. The Belmont's
Memorial Day weekend.
The Belmont's June 3rd, and the Preakness is the 20th of May. So, you know, we got a bunch of races coming up here, but it's you know, getting close to the top of the hour now. But thanks, Mr. Iron Dan Richards, for tonight. I appreciate all your effort and everything, and thank you, viewers. And you enjoy the rest of your Wednesday night, wherever you're at, or whatever time of the day you're at viewing us. And we'll be back Saturday morning at 11 a.m. And again, back here, you know, for the Wednesday night, 8 to 9 Central Time, which will be May 7th, actually. Yeah. So anyway, thank you, everyone. Thank you again, Mr. Iron Dan Richards.
Thank you, sir.
And we'll see you Saturday morning. Good night, everybody. Take care.